Let's rather take you to Diepsloot, where residents say they are fed up with the lack of visible policing. Last night, they took to the streets in protest to raise concern over surging crime levels. They claim the police have abandoned them and criminals have taken over. They have vowed to continue their protest until the president steps in. Manqoba Mchunu is in Diepsloot. He joins us now live for an update. Manqoba, you've been there since very late last night. I saw some of the debris that was burning in the streets of Diepsloot. How's it looking there today? I see the situation is still very tense.
Well, quite tense, Maseko. As you can see, these are the angry community members that have taken to the streets here in Diepsloot this morning. Of course, not relenting in their call for an end to crime in this area. They have been marching throughout the streets of this township and just, raising concern as far as crime is concerned. But more importantly, what they are saying is that they want the criminals out of this community. Of course, we've seen a lot of violence that has marred this particular protest, with some of the structures, with some of the shacks, as well as stalls that are belonging to foreign nationals being destroyed and being burnt by community members. In fact, they were meant earlier on to march to the police station, but they then turned around and they decided not to go to the police station anymore due to the fact that they say some of their comrades had been arrested, and so they felt that they would not want to march to the police station if their comrades had still been arrested. So they had a change of plan as far as things are concerned, and they have now just been going to the various areas in this community, just pinpointing some of the areas that they say have been, a haven for criminals in this community, that have been harboring criminals in this particular community, and they have been burning some of those shacks. They've been dismantling some of those shacks. I can tell you, Maseko, that when you just drive around this particular area, the only thing you see are fires throughout this settlement. They are burning tires. There is debris from some of those shacks that has been collected and burnt and set alight by these community members. And just a short while ago, we saw actually the police, coming to try and disperse this crowd. They fired tear gas as well as rubber bullets to these protesters, who then had dispersed for a short while, but then came back onto the streets again. They are saying that they're going to be going to these various areas, these crime hotspots, where they're going to be, demanding that the criminals in these areas leave those areas and that they move out of this particular community. I want to bring in one of the community members just before I bring in Loyiso Toia, who is one of the leaders. In fact, let me bring you in, Loyiso, just to speak to you on what is happening here. So tell us, Loyiso, we see that as community members, you've now changed your plans. You're no longer going to the police station, but the protest is continuing.
Yes, the protest is continuing. As we've said yesterday, the community is saying they will not stop doing what they're doing up until the President of the Republic of South Africa comes to Diepsloot. We're facing many challenges, Diepsloot. People are dying each and every day. We can't fold our arms as a community as if it is a day as usual. To be specific, a chairperson of CPF, Mr. John Makule, was killed. As we speak now, he's laying in a mortuary because of criminal. A man who was fighting for crime, a man who was in the forefront of fighting criminals in this community. We can't relax as a community when one of our own and one of our leaders is lying in the mortuary because of criminal. Enough is enough in this community. We have requested Minister Begitele to come here previously. We have seen the solution that he's bringing are not permanent, because we will deploy police for a moment of time, and then these police will patrol the main roads. We want police that will be here permanently, that will get in number 12, number 13, and number 1, where the hotspot of crime is. Hence now we are requesting the president to come. One of the issues what we have realized, people were arrested here, illegal foreigners to be specific, were arrested here, and they were released by the Randburg court. sent back to the same community of Diepsloot, where we are saying they are illegal. You release them from court to come to Diepsloot to do what? To do what in our community? People who have came in our country illegally. We are not xenophobic. This thing of saying South Africans are xenophobic, it must stop. We are not xenophobic as South Africans. It is a fact that a majority of crimes that are committed in our community, it is illegal foreigners, to be specific, from Zimbabwe. We cannot call such people our brothers. It is a fact that people who come in our country and sell drugs, majority of them are from Nigeria. It is a fact. We know we're Africans. They are African brothers. But we can't call someone that comes in your country, that comes in your community and sell your people drugs and murder your people and rape your people. And we are told that we must call them brothers. No, they are not our brothers, those who are doing those things. They are our enemies. Whoever that is selling our children drugs, whoever that is killing our community is our enemy. Whoever that is here in our country to work for their families and go back to their country illegally, they are our brothers. They are our African brothers. Once you come in our country, sell drugs, you kill our people, you are our enemy.
Okay, let's just talk about, of course, what we've seen this morning as I ask you to come this side. Of course, the violence that we've seen marring this particular protest. We're seeing quite a lot of violence. Surely, I asked you this again yesterday. Is the violence warranted? I mean, we see a lot of destruction that is happening here.
It is warranted, Manqoba. Last Friday, we did a very peaceful protest because we felt that we were failed by the police. We went shack to shack, house to house, demolishing the house that are alleged to be harboring criminals. The program and bring various departments that include the Department of Justice, Police, Home Affairs, so that all these issues that we are crying about as the people of Diepsloot can be resolved in one meeting. That has not been done. Now the community have decided that now we are going to the streets, and this time people will be violent. It seems like the only language that our government will hear and understand is the violent language. We are not happy to ban our streets. This is our street. This is our infrastructure. But in order to get an attention of our leaders, this is necessary according to our community.
And we've seen some of the structures being burned, the shacks being burned. Why?
These shacks that you see along the main road, as I've said yesterday, there are shacks that during the night criminals hide here. When you get off from work, you going to a house, they will attack you. So it is necessary for us as a community, while we are dealing with crime, we want the president to come, we must act accordingly. So it is necessary for us to destroy them.
How to stop this particular protest, and what's going to happen now?
The only thing that will stop this particular protest is the president of our country coming down to Diepsloot and address his people. These are his people. We are not his enemies. We are his people that put him into power. We want him to come and save us as the head of state of this country. We want him to come and bring us a solution, a permanent solution that can be implemented in our community, so that we can feel safe in our country, we can feel safe in our community.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Lois Otoyi, who's one of the community members here, just ventilating some of their frustrations and why really they've taken to the streets. They're saying that this was a last resort. As a community, they've tried to raise this issue on official platforms and to address it with the police minister, but none of those have been taken seriously by the police minister. I'm just going to ask my colleague Khodo just to show you the group of community members, young and old, that you're seeing here this morning, that are part of this particular protest, that are marching here today. And of course, we're seeing quite a lot of destruction that is happening here in this community. A lot of shacks and structures belonging to illegal foreigners are being destroyed and being dismantled. And this just speaks to the fury of community members here. They're saying that police are not doing it, so we'll do it on our own, literally taking the law into their own hands. They're saying that the violence is warranted. It's the only way that they're going to get the attention of government in order for their cries to finally be heard.